0, but you are having some alpha here, that is alpha is equal to r by r, I think c by l, and remaining parameter is same. Remaining parameter is same. Remaining parameter is equal to remaining parameter. They remain same. Okay, so what is the idea? If alpha is equal to 0, then definitely that particular line is lossless line, and also it is distortionless, distortionless. Okay. Next we will see low loss line. Line with less loss. Low loss line. Okay, low loss line. Okay, the low loss line low loss line means resistance will be there, but that will be very less as compared to omega L. Similarly, conductance G will be there, but that is very less as compared to omega C. Okay, gamma is equal to R plus J omega L, G plus J omega C, or square root. Then you take J omega L outside, 1 plus R divided by J omega L, then J omega C outside. Okay. J omega C outside, then 1 plus G divided by J omega C overall square root. Okay. Once if R is very less as compared to omega L, if the numerator is very less compared to omega L, then you can neglect this term. Similarly, you can also neglect this term. Then finally you are getting J omega square LC, J omega square LC. Then again this is equal to J omega square root of LC which is equal to J beta. So in this case also what is happening, if it is low loss line, approximately alpha is not exactly equal to 0, approximately alpha is equal to 0, then beta is equal to omega square root of LC. Once if beta is omega square root of LC, then phase velocity is 1 by root LC, then delay is equal to square root of LC. Delay is equal to square root of LC. Then what is Z naught? Z naught is equal to R plus J omega L divided by G plus J omega C overall square root. Okay, if you take J omega L outside, here you take J omega C outside, then you will get 1 plus R divided by J omega L. Similarly, 1 plus G divided by J omega C. Okay, G divided by J omega C. Then you make overall square root. Okay. Again, this term can be eliminated. Once if you eliminate this term, finally you are getting square root of L by C. Finally you are getting square root of L by C. So what is the final idea? See, for when alpha is equal to 0 here, okay, again what is phase velocity? Again, what is phase velocity? Phase velocity is equal to 1 by square root of LC, 1 by square root of LC. Then what is beta? Beta is equal to omega into square root of LC. Then what is delay? Okay, delay is equal to always square root of LC. Then what is Z naught? Z naught is equal to square root of L by C. Then under the condition, what sir? R, under the condition R is very less compared to omega L, and G is very less compared to omega C. This is the condition for low loss. Okay, low loss. Okay, if it is low loss, then this is your condition. But one thing is very clear, the low loss is something similar to lossless line. There's something similar to lossless line because we are getting same result. Okay, low loss is something similar, but when R is 0, Z 0, exactly that is lossless. That time exactly you will get alpha is equal to 0. But in this case, whenever it is low loss, you will get some minimum value, but that will be equal to 0. So in case of transmission line, okay, low loss and lossless both are almost same. Low loss and lossless both are almost same. Okay. Okay. So next, low loss. Next, we'll see the expression of voltage and current with respect to y parameter, because we are having two parameters. One is x parameter. That means if you are going from sending end to receiving end, then you can write the equation with x, or sometime if you are coming from receiving end to sending end, that particular equations can be written with the help of y. Okay, but x is equal to always minus y. Okay, x is equal to always minus y. Now we will write the expression for voltage and current with respect to the voltage and current that is present at the receiver. Okay, voltage and current that is present at the receiver. Okay, so now we'll write the expression for expression of V and I with respect to, earlier we have written with respect to Vs. Now we will write it with respect to VL, load voltage. Similarly, IL. Previously we written with respect to IS, source current. Now we can write with respect to load current, IL. And the new parameter is Y with respect to Y. Okay, now we will write the transmission line equation with respect to VL, IL, and Y. Okay, now what is V? V is equal to VR. Okay, VR cos H gamma Y. Okay, plus IR Z naught sin H gamma Y. Okay, instead of VR, I will put VL. Please note down VR and VL is always same. VL, this is IL. Okay, next I is equal to IL cos H gamma Y. Okay, cos H gamma Y, and plus VL divided by Z naught sin H gamma Y. Now you replace, okay, Vs with VR, because we are coming from VR, or VR, or what is VR? VL. You replace Vs with VL. Similarly, Is with IL, and X with the minus Y. Okay, instead of X, you substitute minus Y. Okay, already you know the equations with respect to Vs and Is. In that equation, you replace, instead of Vs, you put VL, instead of Is, you put IL, instead of X, you put minus Y. Then you'll get this equation. Okay, and again, no need to remember this equation. Just for derivation purpose, I am writing all this equation. Now, again, with this equation, see, you know, voltage and current anywhere on the transmission line. Say, if this is your transmission line, okay, you are going in this way. This is the direction of Y. You are going in this way. That means what? Here at load end, Y is equal to 0. At source end, what is Y? Y is equal to L, because you are going from load to source. Okay, from load to source you are going. When you are starting from the load, your Y is 0. When you are reaching the source, your Y is L. Or you can be anywhere on the transmission line. You can be anywhere on the transmission line. Then your Y can be anything in between 0 and L. Then you substitute this value here. Then you can know what is the voltage and current anywhere on the transmission line. What is the voltage and current anywhere on the transmission line? Then once if we know the voltage and current anywhere on the transmission line, then you can find out the impedance. Okay, now I want to find out what is the impedance looking from this direction. I am looking towards the load. Then I want to measure what is my impedance. Then you have to calculate your Z here. Okay, then okay, anywhere on the line, if you want to calculate the impedance, okay, impedance at any point on the transmission line. Okay, now I want to measure impedance at any point on transmission line. Simply what I can take, okay, that is equal to Z. Say impedance anywhere on the transmission line, that is equal to Z. Simply I can take the ratio of the voltage at that point and the ratio of the current at that point. Okay, ratio of the voltage and ratio of the, because current and voltage is really different with respect to different point. If you move around on the transmission line, definitely your voltage and current will vary, because voltage and current is finally function of what? Y. Okay, so impedance at any point on the transmission line, Z is equal to V divided by I. V divided by I. Okay, so and then you substitute the equation of V and I here. Okay, what you are getting V. So anywhere on the transmission line, you can find out Z, but that we are finding out with the Y format. Okay, in X also you can do, or in Y also you can do. Now we are finding out with respect to direction of Y. Okay, ZY, then you substitute the values directly. Okay, VR cos H gamma Y plus IR Z naught sin H gamma Y divided by IR cos H gamma Y plus VR divided by Z naught sin H gamma Y. Okay, sin H gamma Y. Now, um, now you divide the equation, you divide the entire equation. Okay, you divide both the numerator and the denominator of the right hand side of this equation with IR cos H gamma Y. You divide with IR cos H gamma Y. Once if you divide, this becomes VR divided by IR. Okay, don't write VR by IR as equal to Z naught, because that and all special condition. Okay, now we are in a regular format, so VR divided by IR. Then next, next what happens? That sorry, VR by IR, that cos HY cancels. Okay, then IR cancels, then Z naught sin divided by cos is tan, so Z naught tan H gamma Y divided by IR cos HY cancels, so simply 1. Okay, then here I am getting VR divided by IR divided by Z naught. Okay, tan H gamma Y, tan H gamma Y. But I can write VR divided by IR is equal to what? ZL, because VL by IL. ZL or ZR you can write. Okay, VR means what? Voltage at the receiving end, current at the receiving end. That I can denote it as ZL, because really the voltage at this place depends on the ZL present there. Whatever the ZL that you are connecting, based on that only you will get at ZL definitely always VL divided by IL. Okay, so instead of that one, instead of VR divided by IR or VL divided by IL, I can write ZL. Please don't get confused with this. VR and VL and IR and IL I will use interchangeably. Please, both are same. Okay, so ZL. Okay, so so what I am getting, ZL. So ZL plus Z naught tan H gamma Y. Okay, then divided by 1 plus ZL divided by Z naught tan H gamma Y. Once if I take that Z naught, here one Z naught will come, then the numerator another Z naught will come, the same Z naught. So ZY is equal to, just to modify this one, then you will get ZY is equal to Z naught ZL plus Z naught tan H gamma Y and Z naught plus ZL tan H gamma Y. So what is important here, please no need to remember this equation, but remember one thing here. Okay, so now what is our idea? You have to find out impedance anywhere on the transmission line. That impedance depends on the characteristic impedance. Okay, the impedance depends on the characteristic impedance. You start with characteristic impedance. Again, this is like this. You would start with characteristic. If it is Z naught, here is ZL, and here is Z naught. Then this ZL again in the denominator also same format, but ZL and Z naught is reversed. Okay, here Z naught comes, here ZL comes. Anyway, that tan H gamma Y. You just try to remember the structure of the formula, but don't remember the formula, because later you have to remember some other formula. Okay, some other formula, because this is for general line, but we have to remember the formula for lossless line. Okay, I will apply some condition later, then I'll modify the equations. Okay, so just you remember the structure. You start with Z naught, then ZL, then Z naught. But the same format only here, but that ZL and Z naught is interchanged. Okay, so just if possible you remember it, or otherwise you have to remember some other formula for a lossless line. Okay, this is the impedance anywhere on the line. This is the impedance of the transmission line. Okay, so you can be, your Y can be anything. Okay, your Y can be 0. Okay, for a moment you just try to substitute. If you are really at the load, say if you are really at your load, then your Y is 0. Okay, then in that equation you substitute y is equal to 0. If y is 0, this term is 0, this term also 0, is not cancelled, then zy is equal to zl only. Okay, what I am telling, whatever I have derived, that is correct. Because if y is equal to 0, what happens? Zy is equal to z0. You will get zl divided by z0. Finally, what is your zy? Is equal to zl, because you are at load. You are at load end. Whenever y is 0, you are at load end. Definitely your impedance is load impedance only. But if you are anywhere on the transmission line, then it will give you some other impedance. It will give you some other impedance. If you put here instead of y is equal to 0, if you put y is equal to L, then that will give you the input impedance of the line. Okay, that will give you the input impedance of the line. That I think already we have derived it. Okay, you just cross verify. Instead of y, you put L, then that has to be same that you have derived already. See what happens here. Instead of y, if you put L, that will give you the input impedance of the line. Okay, if y is equal to 0, then the zy will give you zl, because really that is load impedance. If y is equal to L, then zy will be your input impedance. That means what? The ratio of source voltage and source current. I think that we have already derived. That will be is equal to, okay, so that will be equal to z0 zl plus j z0, okay, gamma L divided by z0 plus j zl tan hyperbolic gamma. This is, I think, already we have derived. What is the input impedance of the line? Okay, just cross verify both are same or not. Okay, so now one more thing we are going to analyze. If our load impedance is equal to characteristic impedance, if our load impedance is equal to characteristic impedance, okay, instead of ZL, if I put Z0, okay, what will happen? Anybody? If in the above equation, okay, because whenever your y is equal to L, you are at source. When you are at source, you put the load impedance is equal to Z0, then what will happen? Zin is equal to Z0, ZL plus j Z0 tan beta L divided by Z0 plus I think ZL is Z0 tan beta L. Again, the numerator and the denominator is exactly same. You are getting Z0. So Zn is equal to what? Z0. So whenever you terminate the transmission line with the characteristic impedance, then the input impedance is same as the characteristic impedance. Okay, that is the idea. This already we have got the same idea, because if load is Z0, then input impedance is also Z0. If load is Z0, then input impedance is also Z0. Okay, so that is the idea. Here. Okay, if the load is, and again one thing is, you remember, when the load is Z0, then input impedance is also Z0. That input impedance is independent of L. Okay, independent of L. You take any L value. See what I'm trying to say. When you have transmission line like this, you terminate the transmission line with Z0. Then you try to measure the impedance here, or always, or at source end, always. That is what, sir? Always it is, which is equal to always that is Z0 only. Okay, so whenever if you terminate your transmission line with Z0, you measure the input impedance anywhere on the transmission line, that input impedance is always Z0. Okay, so what is the meaning of this one? When transmission line is terminated with Z0, then impedance measured anywhere on the line, then impedance measured anywhere on the line, looking towards load, looking towards load is always Z naught only. Very important. Okay, when the transmission line is terminated with Z naught, then impedance measured anywhere on the transmission line, not only at the input side, you measure anywhere on the transmission line, because L can be anything. Once if you apply that condition, see what happens. Finally, irrespective that your input impedance is Z naught only. It is independent of L. So that means what, you can take L any value, not necessarily to be at source. Okay, you go anywhere on the line, then then you get your impedance is equal to Z naught. Okay, that is the idea. And here I have not mentioned anything. The line can be lossy or lossless. Okay, again, you should not think that it works under either lossless condition or lossy condition or distortionless. See, here, and for this condition, for this statement to work, the line can be anything. Line can be lossy or lossless. Okay, lossy or lossless, or distortion, or with distortion, or without distortion. Line can be anything. Okay, because we have not made any special condition. In a common format only we are discussing. So for this condition to work, the line can be anything. Okay, it may have distortion or it may not, or similarly it may have loss or it may not, but this statement is always true. Okay, for this statement to work, you have to terminate the load impedance with the characteristic impedance. That is the only that only you have to do. Okay, then the line nature can be of anything. Okay, the line nature can be of anything. Okay, so okay, next next, for a lossless line, what happens? For a lossless line, say for a lossless line, how the equation is getting modified. Okay, if the line is lossless, gamma is equal to really only J beta. Gamma is equal to really only J beta. Instead of gamma, I can substitute J beta. Okay, in the previous equation, I am having gamma. Instead of gamma, if I substitute J beta, already we have done that derivative. We have done that. Okay, what happens if you substitute tan hyperbolic of J beta? That J comes outside simply. If it is cot, then minus J comes outside. Okay, if it is tan, simply J alone comes outside. So Zy is equal to Z naught ZL plus J Z naught. Okay, tan beta Y, then Z naught plus J ZL tan beta Y. Okay, if Y is equal to L, then definitely your Zy is equal to input impedance, because whenever Y is equal to L, you are at the source, then input impedance of the transmission line is equal to Zn ZL plus Z naught. Okay, Z naught tan beta L divided by Z naught plus, I think J comes, J ZL tan beta L. This is the important formula that you have to remember always. Okay, because with this we will derive a lot of other formulas. This is the important formula. What is the input impedance of the transmission line? Zn is equal to, because always they will give you the lossless line. That's why you have to always remember this formula. A little bit bigger formula only, but somehow you have to remember. Okay, you have to always remember this formula. Input impedance of the transmission line is equal to Z naught ZL, okay, plus J Z naught tan beta L divided by Z naught plus J ZL tan beta L. Sometimes they used to represent this in terms of normalized impedance. Okay, what is normalized impedance? If you have impedance, you have some impedance on the transmission line. If you just divide it with the Z naught, because Z naught is the characteristic impedance of the line, then that will give you the normalized impedance. Okay, Z is